Hello everyone, this is Gluttony of the Isekai. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. Mushoku Tensei, chapter number 63, Genius. So it starts off with Beta God and his subordinate talking about this letter. You met Beta God before. He transported and analyzed to the port located closest to where Rudy is. Now that Rudy is found, he can go see him. Why, you ask? Well, because Kishirika, his fiancée, had nothing but glowing things to say about Rudius. Who is Beta Gotti? He's a demon lord, Kishirika, her fiancé. And of course, Beta Gotti is extremely jealous of Rudius because of all the good things Kishirika told him about her. So off to see Rudius. Alright, switching over to Rudius. Rudius and Zenoba is walking towards their next class until they approach somebody getting their butt whipped. Zenoba more or less want to just ignore it and just keep on walking by. However, he's being a protagonist, has to break it up. So Rudius did beat the three most powerful students in the school. He beat Fitz, which is number 1, Persona, and Linia. So everybody knows who Rudius or the Crabmeyer is. Rudy is pretty much pointing out to the attackers that, 6 against 1 is not the most noble thing to do. They do not want no part of Rudius. So walking away, they pretty much told him that, look, he asked for it. So getting up from the beatdown, Rudius realized who it was. It's Cliff. Cliff is arrogant and he has every right to be. He is a genius. Even though he keeps running around telling everybody he's a genius. He is advanced level magic in most areas. It takes 10 years to reach advanced level in one particular field. Only other person that did something like that without Rudy is Paul, his father. Now Rudy is thinking that Cliff is going to say something completely arrogant again. But when Cliff thanks him, it completely threw Zenoba and Rudy is off guard. So they like, oh, okay, well, alright then, see ya. But Cliff stopped Rudius in a blushing manner. Of course, this sends off all types of manga and anime flags. Rudius dismissed Zenoba. He continued on to class so he can talk to Cliff. Rudius is also a manga fan, so he knows what this is, a confession scene. Rudius has every intentions on shutting him down. Apparently, it's not him that he want to confess to. It is her, and analyze. Cliff saw her talking to Rudius at one point in time, so he figured that he can introduce them to one another. Rudius is freaked out about this, and Analyze is a whole nother level. Cliff is an innocent boy, and Analyze has a whole story in herself. See, an Analyze dragon role is cursed. They don't go deep into her curse later. I'll probably do a full profile on her later and explain her curse in greater detail. But for now, all you need to know is that her curse is set up to where if she don't have sex, she dies. And it also makes her extremely horny all the time. So most men wouldn't be able to keep up with her, sexually that is. She also is over 200 years old, and he is a teenager at this point in time. Rudy has realized her curse while he was on the road with her to get to the Magic University. There's been some occasion where she even paid to have sex with somebody. She could not have sex with Rudy because of his ED situation, so even if he tried, he couldn't have sex with her. Good thing for him. There's been a situation where she wound up getting pregnant, but what she'll do is she'll raise the child up to the point where they can become independent, and then she'll just leave. Pretty rough on her, so she can't have a family because of her sex drive, and she can't have a stable relationship because of her sex drive. However, in Cliff's eyes, he sees her as some kind of beautiful movie star. Now, what happens if you have somebody that's unapproachable that you are interested in? You want to do one or two things. One, you want to send your boys over there to feel her out, see if she's interested or not. Or two, you're going to go talk to her closest friends, see if she's interested or not. Now, the whole reason why he was in the fight is pretty much because they was talking about his beautiful movie star, spreading rumor that she's a thought. Now, to defend her honor, he went over there to confront the dudes, and of course, they whooped his butt. Cliff is a magician. Hand-to-hand combat is not his forte. Only thing he wants for Rudy to do is to introduce him to an analyze. That being said, Rudy is aware of an analyzed situation. Therefore, he don't want Cliff to get hurt. I mean, he could just go ahead and introduce it and call him a day, but he's afraid that Cliff would come back later like, hey, dude, what the hell? Then you tell me that she's a slut. Rudy has put it off for later. Switching over to his meeting with Fitz, they are analyzing summoning humans. They find out there is no way to summon a human. You can summon any other creature except for humans. Rudy has asked Fitz if there's a professor in this university that knows anything about summoning magic, or that's their specialty. There isn't any. Rudy has started thinking about his own situation, on how he was summoned to that world. So if you can't summon humans in flesh and blood, what about if you summon the soul? Says Rudius. There is an explanation on how Rudius got there. I might do a video on that later. Rudy was thinking about the calamity that happened 10 years ago. He's trying to connect those two incidents, that magical calamity and how he was summoned as Rudius Grey Rat. They shouldn't be related, but he feels in his heart that there is. Fitz intimately touches his forehead. Are you alright? You seem kinda down. Shall we call it here for today? You know that she's in love with Rudius, and she is already afraid that somebody else might snatch him up because she is too afraid to make that next move. Rudius then go on to explain that it's not about himself, it's about Cliff. And he was hoping that Fitz will help him out with the situation. So he began to explain to Fitz about the situation with Cliff, how he fell in love with an analyze, and the woman in question has a romantic problem. She thinks about giving him the advice of telling him, but she said no, that won't fix the problem. Rudius pretty much knows that even if he tells him, his image of her is ridiculously high. Keep in mind, he jumped on 6 dudes for talking badly about the girl. So there's a huge chance that he won't believe him, even if he told him. Fitz then asks, how do you see the woman? Well, I don't dislike her. I can't see her as a romantic partner. But in the back of Rudius' mind, he would love to experience a 200-year-old sex fiend. Fitz can relate to this situation. I mean, her situation with Rudius is somewhat similar. Now this freaks Rudius out. Like, who on earth that he's interested in? Could it be the princess? So her advice is tell Cliff that she has issues and that he is out of the situation after they introduce each other. So the next day he meets up with Cliff to introduce him to an analyzer and tell him that you have to promise that you won't come crying to me afterwards. Now Cliff is a Millist believer. That's even worse because Millist believer is pretty much a Christianity type of religion. One woman, one man, exclusive. That makes things way worse. And Cliff is even prepared to be rejected as long as he gets his feelings across to an analyze. So they walk in the room and Rudy has introduced them to one another. And right off the bat, Cliff bows his head. Please do me the honor of getting to know you on a personal level. And Analyze thinks about the situation. Grab Rudius. What is your goal here? And Analyze like, look, dude, you know my situation. And yet you send this naive boy over here to me? Rudy is like, look, he just asked me to introduce you to one another. I swear on God, Roxy, even if you are telling me the truth, his devotions trouble me. She knows that she can't commit herself to one person. She don't want to use the dude up and just leave him, or even if she try to commit herself to him, it'd be extremely hard for him to keep up with her sexually. Rudy is like, if you can't deal with him, just let him down properly. But tell him the reasoning behind everything first. Nellala's like, alright, I got you. So she walks up to him. Rudy dips out. And before Rudy dips out, Cliff thanks him. And that is the end. This is the reason why I start reading the manga and the light novel, because of cliffhangers like this. So you're going to have to wait a month for the next chapter to come out. Please like and subscribe if you like this channel. Deuces.